an episode of This Thin and That Thin. I'm This Thin, and this is That Thin.
Hello.
This week we'll be talking about a movie called
Hero by Zhang Yimou. It's a great movie. It came out in 2002 or 2003, I believe. And actually, one of the most interesting things about this movie is you have Quentin Tarantino to thank for bringing it to you.
And you absolutely see in this movie, you constantly see Quentin Tarantino's ethos and aesthetic constantly throughout the movie, with lots of very intense colors and shapes of shots and angles and references.
Yeah, it's definitely very influenced by Tarantino, I'd say. He actually brought it here when other distributors wouldn't bring it to the United States. So it's great that he did that, because otherwise we'd be missing out on this. It's a masterpiece. It really is.
It might get too thins out. Definitely two on the thin scale. This movie had incredible dialogue. I constantly was inceptioned.
It's a very postmodern story. It's very well done. See, it starts in one timeline and it kind of goes into many other ones that may or may not exist. But I guess that's giving away too much, isn't it? Okay.
No, I don't think that's giving away too much, because not only we have these timelines that intersect each other, some of them might be true, some of them might not. Some of them might occur before the story seems to begin. Some of them might occur after.
They're all stories that are occurring within the story, but what happens is they end up coming together in a really brilliant way that just, it's moving almost. It just makes you so happy. It makes me really happy, at least.
And this movie definitely avoids one thing that I notice a lot with martial arts film in general, is that there tends to be a lot of melodrama in many other martial arts film. And in this film, there's like one or two moments. There's one specifically where Flying Snow is twirling through the air, and she's just spinning about, and it's highly melodramatic.
It looks really cool because of the costume she's wearing, but still you're just kind of like, I really need to put that in.
You know, I'm blushing a little bit in the scene, like I feel pretty uncomfortable. But other than that, the movie had a very emotional, beautiful tone, constantly using...
I mean, one of the things about this movie is the color. The color is unbelievable. It's like the color puts this movie on my top 10 favorites alone. The fact that it does everything else so well just makes it even more amazing.
And absolutely, on the line of color, you're seeing an entire shot with greens, and they're not contrasting, but they're not the same color, so you don't have bad blends. Everything is sharp, and that carries an emotional weight in itself, which really makes this film unique as far as its use of color.
Absolutely. Whoever was the colorist on that movie knew what they were doing.
Brilliant.
Knew what they were doing.
There was a great use of the time period where it's taken place.
Absolutely.
The story focuses around the Qin dynasty, which was one of the longer periods of Chinese unification in the history of China. And it's, for many of you who only know what the Great Wall of China is, that actually came about during this emperor's reign. And this takes place sort of before that, when this emperor was trying to unite the various clans of this region.
So one of the sort of difficulties of this movie, as with all martial arts movies, is translating it to English. So if you watch this movie, I would definitely say don't go for the English dub, because the final scene, they sort of leave out a couple translations and just repeat one thing over and over, and it loses a lot of the meaning, and they don't translate a couple other things really well. But most of the subtitled versions are pretty good.
Yeah.
To get the point across.
Well, and with these various translations, you kind of get different shades of meaning. So if you go out and see this movie, I recommend seeing maybe 2 or 3 versions, just because we watched a version with a specific subtitle, and although this thin, or that thin over here, this thin, decided that a certain translation was really inadequate for a very crucial point in the film, I, on the other hand, found a little bit more meaning and closure from that same part. So you might get different shades of gray if you work with these two different...
You might even get up to 50 shades of gray.
Maybe 51.
Or perhaps over 9,000 shades of gray.
That's just not possible. So all in all, Hero is just an incredible piece of cinema. I think it's one of those films that every person in their right mind should go see at some point or another.
Absolutely. Definitely 2 thins up. Two thumbs up. You should see Hero. You should watch the English subtitled version because the other version sucks. I mean, sort of, not really.
It's adequate.
So that's the end of the Hero edition of This Then and That Then. We hope you guys enjoyed it. It was certainly a lot of fun telling you about what a great movie Hero is. And until next time, Tianjia.
Tianjia.